know how to give a shit sandwich. Okay, this is the time where the only exception to breaking rapport is if the client doesn't know what they're talking about and they're trying to get a product or a service or something that doesn't exist or that's not possible. But you need to do it in an extremely delicate way to the point where it doesn't even seem like you're breaking rapport. Let me explain. Basically what a shit sandwich is, it's good with bad in the middle. So good, bad, good. Or the shit in the middle, so to speak. So when I was selling ad space, for an example, I'd have a lot of clients who weren't very marketing savvy, and they would think, this invasive banner ad all over our site was the greatest thing in the world, but it was way too much for their budget. And I would say something like, hey John, terrific idea. I think our readers would definitely love to see something like that. But with that said, some people might find the banner ads invasive. In this case, you've got a terrific ad and everyone would love it. Like, everyone thinks their ad is amazing and the greatest, and everyone's just going to click on their ad a million times because it's the best. So I say, it's a terrific ad. I love it. I see the value, but unfortunately I can't say that everyone would. A lot of guys might have a knee-jerk reaction and quickly close the box, even though it's terrific value in your product. And you guys have put together an incredible campaign. I just want to make sure that you get the eyeballs that you deserve. So here's an idea. What we could do is give you a site-wide banner with all the content from the pop-up. Not only that, you get maximum eyeballs. You're still going to get a lot of eyeballs, but it's a third of the price, so we can stretch that marketing dollar for you even further. What do you think about something like that? So that's just an example. It's sort of a rough example, but it gives you the idea. You give him praise on his great idea instead of saying, it's a dumb idea. You shift the blame onto someone else. The potential customer wouldn't understand. And then you frame them as the potential customer is not being savvy enough to understand the idea, but you think it's terrific. You see the value. So instead of making the guy feel stupid, you make him feel savvy. You lend him your approval and your authority, and you frame the situation as like an us or them instead of a me against him. You tell him you disagree in the same breath, but then you offer another option that's better for him and lets him save face. Okay, if you've lived in Asia, you know that disagreeing is very much frowned upon, and face is everything. So it's the same thing, right? You never want the guy to lose face. So you've been able to criticize in between two good things. It doesn't seem like he's losing face. And then at the end, you top it off with asking his opinion, what he thinks, talking to him as if he's an authority. 9 times out of 10, the guy's going to love the idea, right? That's how you give a shit sandwich. Number 3, be competent. When you call your phone number or your phone company and you hear a voice on the other end, stumble over a simple greeting, can't speak English, how much confidence do you have in your problem being able to be solved that day and being able to be able to be solved easily? Fucking zero, right? You have no confidence that this guy's going to handle your problem. You're already pissed off because you have to call the phone company and something's wrong, and you're like, fuck, I'm going to have to talk to this guy for half an hour and he's going to fuck it up. Guaranteed. I'm going to have to speak to 3 different people because he's not going to be able to do anything. I know from 5 seconds of talking to the guy how competent he's going to be. You want to be the complete opposite of that. You want your client to give you a call and you are on the ball. You answer on a ring or two. Hey, John, how's it going? What can I do for you today? Right? You convey authority. You convey confidence. You convey competence. You convey all these types of things. Like, he calls you and maybe he's upset about something. You're selling insurance and there's a problem. He's like, okay, this guy, I got the right guy. This guy's going to be able to handle it. Okay, and everything he says, he has a problem. You're saying, okay, I understand. Okay, right? You're following along. You're actively listening. You are paying very good attention to what he's saying, sometimes repeating it back to him. Okay, you are going to be the most competent person. Your goal should be you're the most competent person that he talks to, right? It's just like you want to give him the best service in his life. You also want to be the most competent person that he talks to in business. And even if he has a huge problem, he'll get off the phone and be like, man, that was way easier than I thought. That guy Will is on the fucking ball. And he could be talking about this at a party a month later and saying, man, I was in such a fucked up situation, but call this guy. He handled it like a pro. This guy Will's amazing, or whatever it is, right? That's what you want to be. You want to be ultra competent. Number 4, manage expectations. This is huge. There's so many good businesses out there, or guys who can offer value, but they burn their clients because they don't tell them what to expect. There's these PUA dating companies, and they have good information, but they tell the guy, like, do you want to, okay, learn game, get any girl, get supermodels, you can go 10 for 10. When that's just not a reality. You got to work within your sexual market value. You got to work within your league. For my Tinder book, I tell guys, you got to be at least decent looking for this to work. My book's called How to Get Laid on Tinder, howtogetlaidontinder.com. There's a shameless sales pitch for you. And on my sales page, I say, like, if you're overweight, don't buy the book. If you're Asian or Indian, think strongly about before you buy the book. Like, you'd have to be above average Asian or Indian guy because girls are racist. That's a fact. And you got to be decent looking for Tinder to work for you. If you're an ugly guy, it's not going to work. That's the reality. And I feel completely confident in selling my book because that it will work for every guy who buys it, because the guys who it won't work for shouldn't be buying it, because I manage their expectations off the top. And I manage their expectations by saying, you can expect to get women, you can have sex with a lot of girls. I fucked 10 girls in 5 weeks off Tinder. I have the proof in the book. All the girls are broken down. So you see that I've done it, but you also see that the girls are in my league. I'm 33. The girls are within 10 years of my age, and they're in my sexual market value league. And you can expect the same results, assuming you put in the same work, and you'll be able to get girls within your league. Okay, that's managing expectations. Not managing expectations is saying, this is the best book of all time on Tinder, and you can get any girl, and you're gonna get 10 girls in 5 weeks, just like me, and you can get all 10, 20, 21-year-old 10s, right? That's bullshit. You gotta give the guy what to expect up front. Otherwise, he's gonna be pissed off, and he's not going to buy your products anymore, and he's gonna badmouth you. So that's super important for servicing your clients and keeping your clients for a lifetime, which is what you should aim with every client. Every person who buys from you, your aim should be to keep him for life, right? Because why not? Why? Getting a client is the hardest thing to do in business. So why not put just as much effort into servicing your clients as you do in getting them, if not more? Number 5, respond quickly. When I was in sales, I would make sure to respond to every client email within an hour at the most. Many times I would respond in minutes or seconds because I would have the Outlook desktop notifications. I can't emphasize enough how important this is if you want to keep your clients, especially if you're in an industry that's fast moving and they need stuff right away. On RLD, on my website, I've dealt with a number of people who are doing contract work for me, who are self-employed, and I've been shocked at the response times of some guys, taking days, or sometimes I've had guys respond to me like a week later. I'm reaching out to someone to do graphic design. They respond like a week later or 3 or 4 days later. That is unfucking acceptable. That's horrendous. 24 hours is the maximum time frame to respond to a client or a potential business partner. The maximum. It's different if you have a customer-based business. Like, I have a customer business, so my customers buy like a $25 ebook, so they're not going to get the same service as someone who's paying me $1,000 a month as a client. A customer generally buys a cheaper product, and a client is buying a service that's based around your relationship, and you're touching base with the person every 3 days or every week. So that guy's going to get a much faster response. But for the customers and stuff, within 24 hours, I will do it when I wake up. I respond to customers every single day when I wake up, and if it's an important thing, like a refund or something, I will try and do that within a couple hours at the most. But it's really up to, it depends on your industry, but respond as quick as you can. And 24 hours is okay, look, if you're a pro salesman and you're dealing with clients, 24 hours is not acceptable. You've got to respond within at least 3-4 hours at the most by end of business. If you've got like an online business and you have customers, okay, 24 hours is all right. But for clients that are paying you a lot of money, got to be by end of business that day at the latest.